Welcome back, Red Top Podcast, Season 2, Episode 12. No, I'm not alone today because that would bore the hell out of you guys. Today I'm joined by my wonderful friend, Howie. He has been at the shop now for 4 years. He has been helping me out navigating this whole social media nightmare that we've been working on this year. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you aren't, blame Howie.
Please don't blame me. I'm doing my best at everything.
Today we're just going to do another internal episode, kind of just go over what we've been doing, what we've been seeing, kind of where we think this year's going to go, I guess. Yeah. So,
Let's start with the best thing. Let's talk about our tuna trip.
Our tuna trip or my tuna trip?
We can start on the high, with your tuna trip.
So, last Monday I had the pleasure of going out with a customer. His name is Chris Anderson. He has been coming in the shop for probably as long as I've been working there. And I've been rigging up his tuna stuff, and finally shot me a text late one night. It was like, hey, we're going tuna fishing tomorrow, are you in? So made our way out Cape Cod Bay, launched at about 4:30 a.m., had baits in the water at 7 o'clock. We were tight on a fish by 7:15. It took about 10 minutes to hook up, and it was pretty cool. That was my first experience giant fishing in the bay. And, I had done them out east, I've done them south, but I have never caught one in the bay, so it was a great experience. Took us about 2.5 hours, had some ups, had some downs, had some trouble getting it in the boat. Fish ended up being 100 inches, 600 pounds on the dot. So it was a lot of fun. Shout out to Chris if you watch the podcast. It was a blast. I hope we can get out there again soon because that was an experience that I will never forget. It'll go down as probably one of my favorite memories this season so far.
And then another favorite memory this season, our tuna trip Monday, if I remember, the 15 hours of it was wonderful every minute.
Yes, so Monday we went out in an attempt to film a YouTube video for you guys, giant tuna fishing in the bay again. Went out to the same area me and Chris had gotten our fish the previous Monday. We were out there with Captain Jeff with our pro staff of Fishy Business Sport Fishing. If you haven't checked them out already, make sure you do that. And we had the great pleasure of going out with Jeff for the first time. I actually met him the day before. And
we both did.
We both met him the day before. It was a struggle in the morning.
It was a struggle. and I will say, guys, if you want the video, all the footage is sitting on my cameras. We'll make some Instagram
reels and stuff.
If you guys want to see it, there's a lot of nothing. There's a lot of
it's a lot of the boat drifting.
A lot of baiting rods. Just us saying random things to keep our willpower going. After drifting up and down Cape Cod Bay for 8.5 hours, being on the boat for 15 hours.
Yeah, it was an interesting day.
It was an interesting day.
Yeah, same thing with that. We launched at like 4:30. Struggled to get bait. The pogies were super, super thin.
Thanks to Pogie John out there.
Shout out to Captain John on the pogie boat in Plymouth Harbor. You guys all know him. We ended
up us 8 pogies.
Got 8 pogies off him.
The good price is $60.
Hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
So we shot out and had baits out, and it's probably it's the most aggravating tuna trip I've ever been on.
Yeah,
because I'm used to the complete failure tuna trips where, like, I don't mark anything. I don't see anything. Like, you see whales. Maybe you see a tuna air out. But we must have marked
15, 20 fish.
Yeah, 15, 20 fish.
At one point, we had a mark that was 20 feet long.
We had a 20-foot mark at about 40 feet come up to 20 feet. Check a bait out. We had a fish streak down to one of our down lines. He checked that out. And we then had a fish air out next to the boat.
Can we talk about the one bite that we did get? And the fish swam directly at the boat at Mach 3.5, and we had no chance of even hooking it.
We were out there at that was probably 6 hours at that point.
Yeah.
It was probably about noontime.
That was when you start to get delusional and you think things are happening, but nothing's actually happening.
We were all sitting there, and all of a sudden we look up, and one of the balloons is missing. Like, you didn't hear it pop, you didn't hear it go under, like it didn't take any line. We just looked up, and Jeff got on the rod and started cranking, and nothing.
Nothing happened.
Between Captain Jeff, he will blame Matt for the hook selection on that one.
Yes, those were trocars. I will say I personally would have gone with Gamakatsus in my opinion, but you know, the captain picks the hooks.
I think, although we can talk about that a little because it's interesting to see how every commercial guy
Every tuna fisherman
swears by a
is
different
so
hook.
selective by hook.
Yeah, like
For
I
example,
use.
a guy came in the other day. We have these trocar, but he wanted the ringed ones in like a 9/0. We didn't have any,
Yeah.
and we had the ones that didn't have rings on them, and then we had the ones that did have rings in offset. He looked,
wouldn't buy 'em.
and he just walked straight out the door because he
They
doesn't
weren't
think they were.
inlines. Yeah, it's weird. Like I use the Gamakatsu live baits with mackerel. I use the 8/0. With pogies, I use the 9/0. Bluefish, I'll use the 10/0. Just because the wire gets a little thicker on the hook, so it's easier to get through the bait. Chris uses the Mustad Demon hooks. Matt uses the live baits like I do.
And then
And
they're the
Jeff uses the Trocars.
But then there are the Charlie Brown guys.
Then there's the Charlie Brown guys. I don't know. Everybody has a different hook selection, so pick whatever hook you want. I prefer the Gamakatsu live baits. They're super small. Tuna have big eyes, so I do not want them to not hit because of my hook, which maybe that was our problem. I want to say our biggest problem that day was the moon.
I think our biggest problem was that tuna didn't bite.
I think this is the moon. It was 98% the night before we went.
And maybe also because we were drifting at 0.2 knots.
Yeah, it was a slow
A
drift.
bit of a slow drift.
Yeah, we drifted. It took us 8 hours to drift 1.5 miles. It was a very slow drift. But anyway, we had fun. Shout out to Jeff. He was a
Yeah,
blast.
great guy.
He was a blast.
Great character. Funny guy.
So we had some fun.
Other than that, what have you been doing?
Till next time. I've been tuna fishing.
Good.
Yeah, like I said earlier this year in the internal podcast, this time of year for me, I'll do a little bit of bonito, a little bit of albies, but my main focus is tuna. This year we've had the pleasure of having giant bluefin inside Cape Cod Bay for probably 3 weeks now, which usually that doesn't happen until September. So to see those giants in the bay already, commercials closed now, but I can't imagine what September is going to be like. It's going to be probably one of the best giant bites Cape Cod Bay has seen in 15, 20 years. We might repeat the sword bite
Yeah.
in the bay. So it'll be interesting. I'm going out on the 11th. I'll have to bring a camera and film some of that for you guys. I'll
Because
be
we do
going
need a
out
giant
with,
video because
I'll be going out with 3 other customers, and they want to do giants on spinning rods, which I don't understand the appeal to that, but whatever. I'm in. You want to go hook a fish? Let's do it. I'll bring an 80 and just shove it in the bow rod holder, and they can all use the jig rods in the back. What about you? What have you been up to? I know we had a
a lot of bones.
nice bonito video last week from you.
Been out probably 5 times in the last week and a half on the boat, just chasing bones in Buzzards Bay. And to anybody who says they aren't there,
They're there.
they're definitely there.
They're there.
Go in front of Mashpee, go outside of Wings Neck, they will be there.
Yeah.
So if you think they're not, they definitely are.
They are, yeah. They're here in numbers heavily. A couple of weeks ago, I think 2 weeks now, I did 3. 2 or 3 weeks. I took out one of the new employees, Pat, and it was a terrible morning to go out. I don't know what I was thinking. It was 3-footers, pouring rain, and we went out and laid waste on bonito. We went 15 for 20 in the pouring rain. We were the only guys out there. It was great, and he had actually never caught a hardtail before, so that was a lot of fun for him. It's a lot of fun for me. It's always good getting out there and catching hardtails inshore this time of year. What are we thinking lure-wise? What's
Lure-wise?
most productive for you so far?
For me, where's my little silver side? Very disorganized. Epoxy
Yeah, I
box
know, I
from
know.
Connor here.
I have too many, so
So he told me not to bring mine, which is very organized. That's an interesting color choice from you.
This has been the
How
lure
many
the
of you
year.
guys
I've never even seen that.
carry Chartreuse Albie snacks? Guarantee it's a big
I
0.
think Rob might have picked those up somewhere.
Yeah.
Might have been a Walmart find.
I do understand why the package is still full.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't love that color that much. So what's your lure you got?
I'm gonna pick a few actually, because a few have been working for me.
I'm using one because
You're using
it is
one?
my favorite Albie
You're
lure.
doing one? I'll do one too then. So, 5/8. Probably can't see it very well. If you watched our YouTube video last week about it, it's in there. Hoagie epoxy jig 5/8. Silverside works the best for me. They've been on Silverside. They were spinning them up every single time I was getting them in the boat. So just cast
Yeah, they
these
were.
at them, burn them, and they're biting.
Yeah, I've kind of took a different approach this year. This is gonna sound wild. I really don't care about bonito or albies. They're not my forte. They're aggravating, and I just have no interest in chasing them. But when I do, I want to have fun. So I've moved away from the epoxies because I want to see how wild we can get with lures and what they'll hit.
It is a bit of an alternate strategy, I will say that.
So this year, my main producer has been the Island X 120. It's an electric chicken pencil. It is 1.3 ounces. It casts a mile. It cuts the wind nice. Has a fat piece of lead in the back, so the casting's incredible. And basically, it's a very, very small pencil popper. It's the first time I've actually gotten to watch bonito and albies. They track the lure. Now, when you're throwing the epoxies, you'll see one come up and hit it and miss it, another one come up behind it. With the Island X, you'll actually watch the same fish track this thing down until he eats it. Best part about the lure, comes pre-rigged with 2 super strong inline single hooks, makes it super easy for getting the fish off and getting them back in the water quick. And one thing I do want to add, I had a good conversation with Dave Peros with Salty Cape a couple of weeks ago with the albies and bonito. I know you'll see a lot of people kind of spike them headfirst into the water, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's a proper way to release them. However, if they aren't a very bright green and you still spike them in the water like that, it really won't do anything. When you're releasing the fish, pop the boat in in the trolling gear and kind of just swim the fish with his head into the current and wait until he gets those colors back and then release him. The bonito you can keep and eat, so obviously you're not going to be reviving those.
Speaking of bonito, do you like eating bonito?
No, I get aggressively sick every time I eat them.
Really? I tried one for the first time
It's good.
about a week ago. Tastes
Incredible.
Just like a tuna, a little
Yep.
bit of softer texture.
Yep.
But that with soy sauce, that slaps.
Yeah, it is very good fish to eat, but I don't know why. For some reason, I get aggressively sick.
The
whenever
only
I eat them.
reason I didn't like it, I don't like eating fish that I catch. Say if my dad caught the bonito and I ate it, I'd be completely fine. But if I catch it, it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Why?
I don't really know, actually.
I mean, you are a weird person. So.
I am a weird person. That is true.
The best part about having Howie on the podcast is he doesn't have an off switch. So he will talk, and just never stop. And sometimes it makes you want to smash his head on the table, but at the same time, it's very good for podcasting.
Yeah, if you guys want to come in the shop and talk to me, feel free. I'll talk all day.
Maybe ask your question of the day.
Oh,
you had
my
a question of the day. You can leave your answer in the comments below.
I asked many customers this today. So say you had a documentary of your life coming out and you needed somebody to narrate it. Would you rather Morgan Freeman? Who's the other guy I said?
David Atwood.
Oh, David Attenborough.
Attenborough, yeah.
So David Attenborough, National Geographic, Morgan Freeman, don't really need an introduction for him.
No, yeah. Right.
You said Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
correct?
Freeman, no doubt.
I disagree. David
That's
Attenborough.
fine. You watch more nature documentaries than I do.
They're very interesting.
Although I will say, the one we watch, so we sleep at the boat ramp before tuna trips because
we are childish and do not believe that we will actually wake up in time to go tuna fishing.
Because, well, my thing is my adrenaline gets going the night before because I'm so excited to go, and then I can't fall asleep. So I'm afraid I won't wake up, and obviously I don't want to be the guy who doesn't show up.
I'd say you definitely fell asleep when we were going.
So, yeah, so I sleep at the ramp. I mean, the car's comfortable enough to sleep for a couple of hours. But, yeah, we watched a nature documentary in the car, and it just so happened to have bluefin tuna in it, and it's actually pretty cool, but
Great documentary.
totally off topic. But
Should we talk about what we're doing tomorrow? Tomorrow morning?
tomorrow we are chasing bonito in the canal. We're going to report.
And if we actually catch fish this
There
time,
will be a YouTube
there
video.
will be a YouTube video.
So stay tuned for that next week, hopefully, tentatively. it'll be there.
Hopefully next Friday, 8 a.m., it'll be up on YouTube.
Yes. So we've gotten reports from a couple of guys coming into the shop, and Bull, who fishes avidly in the canal. He said there have been a lot of bonito in the canal in the morning. It's a good sign because the albies will be pretty close behind. So hopefully we'll get some canalbies this year, as everybody calls them.
Yeah.
I've never caught a bonito or an albie from shore. I've only caught them in a boat or a kayak, so it'll be a cool experience. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
We're going out with another customer, Kyle.
Kyle, great guy.
Yes, we like Kyle a lot. But I guess that's kind of what we've been up to. We haven't really been on a striper grind.
Nope, just bones. They're very addicting.
Although I did striper fish 3 weeks ago. I didn't catch anything.
I've seen a lot of stripers out in the boat.
There's been a lot of schoolies around, which is nice to see population-wise.
About a week ago, I was out in the boat at the west end, found a decent amount of fish at the entrance canal, and all of them were slot size or just below. Very fun. And then behind me, a school of bonito broke, so all my attention went that way.
It was on to the bonito.
On to the
They're a lot of fun. This is one lure that I have in here that I really want to catch a bonito on. I think it'll work.
You think it'll work?
A little Head and Super Spook Jr. I think it would be hysterical. I always see guys down in Florida throw in the little like topwater mice or frogs at them.
Yeah, I think you need different hooks.
Probably, but I mean that's besides the point.
It'll definitely work.
I think it will. I think those will too, eventually.
Is there anything else in here that might work? Stick a gander.
There's plenty of stuff in there that works. It's my box.
How about this?
Oh, a little clouser. It's actually tied by my vet.
Tied by your vet.
Stella's vet, my dog. Not Stella from the shop. I have my own dog named Stella, called Stella.
And yes, she was named Stella before Stella.
Yeah, she's 10, so I've had her a little longer than AJ has had our shop dog.
What other cool plans you have for the rest of the summer?
Cool plans for the rest of the summer. Well, next week unfortunately I'm working a lot, so it's going to be tough fishing-wise for tuna. I have mostly Wednesdays off, which commercial is closed, so I will not be able to get out that much in September, which is unfortunate, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to chasing those tuna again. I mean, once you catch one of those giants, it's addicting, because you watch that fish come up under the boat, and you truly get appreciation for the power that fish has. So, without getting all spiritual, you can...
I mean, we say that. It's a 3-man operation, really. 2 or 3 man.
Yeah, 3 guys is perfect.
To hook the fish. Then the hardest part is getting in the boat, which you had a great experience with your 100-incher last week.
Yeah, we struggled. It was tough. We ended up having to we dragged the fish way inshore to a lobster boat, which if the lobster guy's watching this, shout out to you. We just pulled up and basically asked him. We looked down at the fish. We were like, put that in our boat. So he used his hauler and pulled it up, and we just swung the tail in, and he dropped it right in the boat. So that was great that there's guys out there who will do that for you. Obviously, help them out if you can. But future plans, let's see. My striper fishing will resume probably after September.
Fall run's already getting started.
Yeah, October, November will be a big striper month for me. Tuna kind of dies out in the bay, so my tuna fishing will kind of end there. If they are still in the bay, I'll chase them, but usually they push up way onto the middle bank in the north corners of Stellwagen. So the tuna fishing will end for me, and I will, for some reason, put that wetsuit back on and go up to some spots on the South Shore, maybe even the North Shore this fall. I want to explore up there a little bit. And
I don't know if you're interested, but one thing I am very interested coming back from school is tog fishing.
So, all right, this is wild that you just said that.
Fishing with Mike.
So the last podcast with Mike, we will be doing a tog fishing episode with him, because Mike, for some reason, has this aura around him where he just catches monster tog all the time.
20-pound tog.
He had a 20-pounder this spring.
It's a big tog.
Here's a wild statement.
Let's hear it.
I've never caught a tog before.
I think I've probably caught 3. And they're all short.
I've never caught one. I've never targeted them. It
Pescador fellows, very
hasn't-
strong.
just hasn't been like on my list, I guess. But this year I've kind of made it in. I've been talking to George a lot. He's been helping me out, kind of understanding what to look for, how to do it. So we'll get a short video for you guys with George. We'll also do a boat video with Mike, hopefully.
And
kind of putting him on the spot here.
Just
but-
for you guys to know, some of those videos may not be edited by me. So if Connor does a terrible job, blame him, not me.
Oh, fully. Yeah, I mean, I have very little. That's why I have Howie edit. I have no experience editing videos, so.
If you look at our first actual YouTube video, that's about all of Connor's experience.
That's fine.
It's one clip.
Yeah, it's one clip, solid roll. It was fine.
It was perfect.
People loved it.
I love it. Except for one guy.
So yeah, except for the one guy who disliked it. Shout out to you. But yeah, I mean, it's been a weird season. I know we've been saying that every podcast, but
The weird thing is the jig bite in the canal.
what about it?
It's not really there. It's all topwater now.
That's a good thing.
It's a great thing, but
Well, kind of. It's a good thing because we like catching fish on topwater, but it's a bad thing because we have way too many jigs.
we have a lot of jigs.
We have a lot of jigs. So if you want to get on a night bite, come on in, grab some jigs because you can definitely find some fish. I was talking with Stan, our rod builder, yesterday, and he said he was out 2 nights ago and he did very well. I think he got like 30 something fish, all right around the slot size, 30 to 35 inches, which obviously over 31 you're out of the slot there. But he said he got about 30 fish and he did pretty good. You hear the coyotes?
I do hear the coyotes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I live right in front of a bog, so we got a lot of coyotes behind the house yipping and yapping right now.
What I will say to all the viewers, though, although the jig bite has not been good, the most effective way to catch big fish,
Is jigging the
jigging the
Sagamore
Sagamore
Bridge.
Bridge.
That is the most underrated way to fish the canal.
there's a
So-
massive hole. Just
There's
toss
a
your
big
jig in
hole,
there.
we call it Portuguese hole. On the Cape side, it's about a 100-yard cast. On the mainland side, it's about a 175-yard cast. So fishing it on the Cape side is a little more preferred. But if you have a good west tide at night, like if it turns west around 11 p.m., 10 p.m., and you want to fish until 3, 4, or even maybe till sunrise, there's a hole. It's like I said, it's Portuguese hole. It holds fish, and it holds big fish. I actually had a video pop up on my Snapchat from last year when we all made our way down there.
A lot of fishing was on that night. Good jigging.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of fish in the
mean,
canal, so
If you can cast into that hole,
you'll catch a fish.
you'll definitely catch a
Yeah,
fish.
it's a big cast. Most people will need 12-footers to do it, but it just holds fish, and it's a really fun spot to fish too, especially at night because it's very quiet. The only way you can access it is from like a bike or if you walk pretty far. So you get out there, it's all alone, and it's kind of just the cars going over the bridge over you, and it's total silence. We actually got on a weird darter bite there last year.
Really?
Yes, I had jigged for probably 3-4 hours. We weren't producing anything, and I was totally screwing around, and I threw on a black Wally's darter. First cast hooked up, a 30-pounder, and then it was me and 2 other guys, and we literally crushed fish until sunrise.
There's so many things like that. Just put on a random lure, start catching.
And it works. I think darters, bucktails, and metals. The most underrated canal
Metals are
lures.
so underrated. Can fish them the bottom, the middle of the water.
Problem is
column,
when
burn
the
'em on
sea
top.
bass. The problem's when the sea bass come in.
Sea bass are a problem in some eyes.
You catch a lot of sea bass. But got any questions for me?
Questions for you. Red Top Pod, what's gonna be new in the shop?
New in the shop this year or next year?
Let's do next year. Incoming things that are looking cool.
So next year, product wise, is it's a little too early to tell. We have our trade shows in November and December, so after those, we'll have a pretty good idea. I'll be pretty active on Instagram throughout all of those, so definitely tune into that. I'll be kind of taking some videos, doing some polls, seeing if you guys think we should carry certain things. So obviously, you guys are the ones who are coming in looking for things. So I want to get you guys involved in picking out the products that we actually carry.
And also, if you're listening to this, especially on YouTube, just put a comment in there if you want. If there's anything that we don't carry that you want to see, Connor and I will answer, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we try to be pretty active responding to you guys. So we're doing our best. We're juggling a lot with. I mean, it's literally you're looking at
The whole social media team.
I guess you could call us your social media team. We run the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, the podcast, just about everything that you guys see on socials we're putting up. One thing I'm super excited for, it's kind of new next year, it's not product-wise, but on our website, I'm going to start to do little weekly articles, kind of things that won't make great YouTube videos, simple stuff for beginners, maybe some in-depth, spot reviews and kind of, well, probably not spot reviews, but that would be aggressive.
That would be very aggressive.
That would be way aggressive. But
I wouldn't call those reviews.
Like lure reviews, new products that we'll have out. We'll post some articles there. I'm going to try to do one a week. Same thing, we'll do them out on Fridays or Saturdays.
One thing I've been thinking about is carrying a new plug, get a little video, like drone shot, put it up of just the action.
Yeah.
Because that is the most important part.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them because it is harder than you think to sit down and come up with ideas for you guys because obviously I want to do something I'm interested in, but I also want to be doing things that you guys are going to find interesting and see value in because that's the whole reason we're doing this. We're doing this for you guys. We don't get paid to do any of this. We do this on our own time. Like I want to see you guys, really take advantage of the fisheries here. And I also want to see the younger generation get involved in fishing because that's how we can keep the sport alive. So,
and that also goes for YouTube videos. If there's anything you want to see Connor or I fish for, just drop a comment.
Yeah, drop a comment.
We'll do
Feel
our
free
best
to shoot me an email if you have any questions. If you have, anything, just reach out.
If you guys want to see me try and catch an albie in my kayak with a fly rod, I'll do it. If someone comments it, I'll try it. So say what you want, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Borderline, I think the highest I'll go is trying to hook a giant tuna out of my kayak. After that, just take it a little easier than that.
Which I do want to try that.
I could definitely do it.
We can do it. I'll follow you in the boat. I'll probably just tie you off to the bow of the boat and just hold reverse.
I might wear multiple life jackets.
I would.
Yeah.
That might happen next year. We'll see. It might happen this year. Who knows?
Could happen this year.
But
I could also no longer be employed at Red Top if it happens and it goes terribly bad. So keep that in mind.
You won't be employed anywhere.
I'll be employed on the ground.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, we do this all for you guys. So if you want to see anything, please reach out and tell me because I'm open to ideas. If you have guests that you want to see on the podcast, send them a note, have them reach out to me, send it to me. I'm more than happy to reach out to them. I want to find, the value. I want to give you guys valuable content that you'll actually, one, watch, and two, enjoy.
And that goes for anything, like learning new knots, just figuring out what to use where. Just drop a comment for anything that you either are interested in seeing or something that you're not so sure about how to do it.
Yeah.
Say you want to go catch sea bass. You don't know what you need and you don't know how to do it. You don't know what to look for.
Shoot me an email.
Shoot an email, comment. We'll get you all set up for it, and you'll be catching fish in no time.
Hopefully. Sea bass is tough.
Sea bass is tough, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
How about scup? Anybody ask me anything about scup, I got you.
Howie's an avid scup fisherman. He lives right on the water in Buzzards Bay, so he goes out in his kayak and he'll just send us pictures all the time. And he's crushing like dinner plate size scup. And scup like this. It's ridiculous, but...
Yeah, I know where they are. That's all I can say.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to watch your location, see scup fishing.
You're going to see me like 15 feet off the bank in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just going to start posting your locations at Red Top.
Honestly, this box does have one very good scup lure in it. I don't know how to actually open the top of it. Oh, that's kind of weird. Where is it?
That right there.
This Slays scup.
Joe Bags peanut resin.
Amazing. Drop it on the bottom. Actually put a different hook on it. Then drop it down to the bottom. And then you'll catch as many scup as you can possibly imagine.
You're ridiculous.
I'm just me, dude.
You're you. You're unique.
That's all we
Just
do,
like Jeff
actually.
said. Jeff looked at me on Monday and he goes, "Is he like on something?" And I was like, "No, it's just him.
Life.
It's just
Just
Howie."
gotta enjoy it.
If you have the great pleasure of meeting Howie in the shop, good luck to you. It's interesting. I've known him for 4 years now, and he's made my life
Don't say difficult.
a little bit of everything. Difficult, easy.
Easy. Yeah,
You piss me off, you make me laugh.
it's everybody. What are the things we have to talk about?
Well, what are you doing for the rest of the year? You're off to college soon.
Off to school.
You gonna chase the fish down in Rhode Island there?
I'm bringing my stall. I'm bringing the stall and a wetsuit, and I'm gonna catch some fish.
All right. Maybe
I don't have a car, and I live in the middle of Providence, so that could be understood as one issue.
maybe I'll come pick you up. We'll go do some Rhode Island fishing. We'll meet with Earl.
Earl,
Van Stahl.
Van Stall Earl.
Earl, I know you watch these. We're fishing with you this fall in Rhode Island. We're gonna steal all your spots.
And all the stalls.
That too. Need some more goldies.
Other than that, Albies, I will be chasing Albies down there because
Albie's from Shore and Rhode Island's elite.
it's one thing I can do. Maybe sharks.
I haven't heard of a lot of sharks down there. I wanted to do a shark video, but
It's really hard to
the
film
shark
at night.
fishing was, well, one, it's hard to film at night, and two, it's been very inconsistent.
It's like 10 sharks caught on a beach one night.
We'll go out and
None
crush,
the
and the next night we get none, and the next night you get one or two. It's been a weird year. I've noticed a lot of people getting into it, which is cool. I mean, it's definitely a cool thing that you should take advantage of down the Cape, but it's been a weird year.
Yeah, last year was really weird.
Last year was terrible.
There were no sharks, and the year before, sharks every night.
Incredible, yeah. We had really good nights 2 years ago.
Just one of those things, like, Buzzards Bay has dropped like 6 degrees in water temperature in the last week and a half.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Jeez.
Yeah, I was out yesterday, this
I
morning.
mean, and it's also gone from like 90 to 60.
Yeah.
So,
I
whatever.
actually out in the boat this morning at 7 a.m. It's a lot colder than you think in the summer at 7 a.m. I was frigid.
Yeah, it's cold, especially center consoles.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
They're fishable.
we're gonna keep rolling content out for you guys. I know this podcast is probably all over the place and not incredible, but we're giving you something. Howie's all over the place. And
Because we were supposed to have a tuna video out.
we're supposed to have a tuna video out, but
we
we
didn't
didn't
catch
catch
a tuna.
So our backup plan was internal podcast number 2. It has been all over the place, but that's how Howie is. He's all over the place.
Yep, it's usually like this with me. So
So-
that's why I usually film them and am not in front of the camera.
Yep, exactly. Little format on my end, but whatever. We'll keep you on your toes for this one.
He asked me to do this. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you know, I got to get your face out there, man.
Hey, it was in the YouTube video the other day.
Now you're in the podcast.
Now I'm on the podcast.
God, you're going to be famous.
Yep.
But tune in. I mean, we're going to do a lot more content this fall. We'll get some canal stripers when they show up in the canal. I'll be out there with Bull. If you want to find me, feel free, but careful because we're both casting 12 or 13 foot rods. So
And this
we're bombing the rods
podcast
pretty
is
far.
going up at 8 a.m. If you watch it right at 8 a.m., you might be able to go down and find us at the canal tomorrow.
Yeah, you could. We'll be chasing Benito in the morning.
I will be in full athletic wear, sprinting up and down the service road to find Benito. So
I cannot wait to get videos of this. But it's going to be fun. The shop's picking up. We've been busy. A lot of tuna stuff going in and out. The football bite has picked up south of the vineyard. There's a bunch of marlin out there, also known as skillies, which shout out to Cheech with On the Water because I was listening to their podcast last week on the white marlin, and he kind of explained why they're called skillies. It's super cool.
why is that?
You don't know why?
I don't know why.
I'm so excited to share this. Okay, so
Let's hear it.
so back when sword fishing, harpooning swordfish was a big thing off the Cape, when the season was closed, they would take the newer captains and the newer guys who were getting into the harpooning, and they would go south of the vineyard and they would find white marlin because the white marlin behave very similar to swordfish. They swim kind of right on the top and they leave a little bit of their dorsal fin out of the water. So they would spot them on the stick boats, and they would chase the marlin down, and they would practice on sticking them in preparation for the swordfish season. So they were called skillies because it is where newer harpooners,
Harpoonists.
I don't know,
I don't know.
people who were harpooning swordfish, it's where they learned their skill of dialing and harpooning
I'm
swordfish.
guessing this is since then illegal.
Harpooning marlin?
Just harpooning things, really.
You can harpoon marlin.
If you guys want to see a video of Howie jumping off the boat harpooning a marlin, if you get this video to 50 likes, I'll do it.
50 likes and you'll harpoon a marlin off the top of the Steiger?
Yeah. I will be wearing a life jacket, though.
I'm in. Just wear your wetsuit.
I'll wear a wetsuit. Actually, yeah, I'll wear a wetsuit.
A lot of hammerheads down there, though. No. 50 likes, he'll do it.
50 likes. Big
50 likes,
50.
he'll do it. There have been like 12, 13-foot hammerheads south of Nantucket right now. So 50 likes, and you will see Howie strapped up in a black and blue wetsuit. He will be jumping off the roof of my boat at White Marlin.
In 100 likes, and we'll do it with a bunch of chum in the water. I said it.
He said it.
It'll happen.
I'm not going to condone that, but he said it. So stay tuned. I know this one was all over the place. It's a little shorter than usual, but we will get
We
back.
both just worked all day, so.
We worked open. I worked open to close. So it was a long day. I'm still kind of wiped from that tuna trip Monday.
Yeah, I'm still recovering.
Still recovering.
I mean, he recovered for 15 hours in his bed.
Yes, I got home at about 9 p.m. after having probably the best tasting lobster roll I've ever had.
From where?
The Lobster Hut.
Really? Oh wait,
I think I was just. You were there. You had clam strips. I don't think. I mean, it wasn't like an incredible lobster roll. It was.
We were slightly tired
I was
after
so
this trip.
tired that it was just really good.
I actually, when I got home,
We then
I
got
left
home.
my car door open and all my windows open,
And
and
it
just
rained.
walked straight up to my bed and fell asleep.
Didn't it rain the next morning?
Yes.
Yeah. So I got home. I fell asleep at like 10. I texted him at about 12:45. I was like, I just slept for 13 hours.
And I was at work already, so.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was fun. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. If you somehow stayed with us this entire episode, I appreciate it. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. The first will always be the worst. So we appreciate you hanging out, talking with us. Or you weren't talking with us, but you know what I mean. Thanks for tuning in. We had fun. And we will see you in a YouTube video. Catching Benito in the canal next week. Howie, thanks for coming on, dude.
My God. That's a little better.